Hey everyone, this is Manda Arpita. So today in this first tutorial, we're gonna see how basic HTML works. HTML is nothing but hypertext markup language. So when you initiate an HTML, you're just gonna say HTML, and this is going to be your starting tag. So HTML is formed of tags. So here I'm going to show you the preview of my first experiment, how it looks like. So and after that I'm going to explain in detail how everything is got into picture. This is my page, and here I have a heading, and after that I have a horizontal line, I have a heading, I have a subheading, this is a paragraph text, and after that I have two links, one is for an email and another one is for a phone number, and after that I have an image which is clickable. After that I have a text saying that it is a clickable image, and this is the first part. The second part goes like the heading, the subheading, and here I have the table. And after that, I have list items. So we're going to see how these have been mentioned according to the HTML code. So this is my HTML code. And now, starting with introduction, here is my HTML head. And after that, in the HTML, I'm going to show you the basic structure of how the HTML is going to work. First going to have HTML. And inside this, there's going to be another HTML tag, and after that you're going to have your head, and after that there's a body tag. So this is going to be your basic structure, and in the head tag I'm going to give all the things like my title bar and all those things. So my title bar goes something like this, index.html. So that is how the title bar works. And after that, coming back to the code, this is my body, and the body contains all these contents which are present over here, which are visible to your eyes. So coming back to the code, the first thing is the heading, Manda Arpita. So that was like, so here, I got an H1 tag. We have 6 levels of heading, H1 to H6. So this H1 actually gives me this kind of heading. And after that, I have another heading and a side heading. And a side heading should be relatively lesser than the heading, and this heading should be lesser than this heading. So I'm going to number them. So this is going to get the larger height, and this is going to get the second largest height. This is going to get the third largest height. So I start with H1 and I give this H1. As you can see over here, it's H1 for Manda Arpita, and for heading 1 I've given H2, and for subheading I have given H3, and you can notice the difference of sizes among 3 of them. And after that I've wanted a paragraph which has a paragraph tag, which is the P tag. So here is the paragraph tag, and this is the paragraph. This is the dummy text which I've got. So this is the paragraph text which we got, and this is just a copy paste several times so that we just get it all over the screen. And once the paragraph is done, we're just going to a link. So what is a link actually? It is something that when you click on it, you're redirected into another page. Here I've not linked it to anything. That is why we are on the same page. So for that we use a tag, which is also called as the anchor tag. So once you're done with this, I've created anchor tags for 2 of them. One is the email and the phone number. So these are the 2 anchor tags which we have. And after that, the third anchor tag is an image. Why is this image inside an anchor tag? There's a reason for that. The reason I want to make it an anchor tag is that an image can be displayed normally, but instead you can notice my pointer, right? It's in this fashion. Now when I go onto the image, you can see my pointer changing into a cursor. So there it goes. So it becomes a clickable image. So even on the links, it becomes a clickable image. To make something clickable on the web page, you use something called as an anchor tag. So for that, I first include my image up here. So this is my image. This part is my image, fine, and I have enclosed this in an open anchor tag and a close anchor tag. So once this is done, we're going to the next part, and I've just given a clickable tag, clickable image, and this is given inside a span so that it gets beside that. And once that is done, we have the second section. The first section is done. And in the second section, we have 4 parts. The first part is the heading which we have to draw. The second part is the side heading which we have to draw. The third part is named as a table which you're drawing. And in the table, whatever you have drawn in this way is called as a row, and whatever you have drawn in this way is said to be a column. And you denote this row by TR and the data inside this by TD. Okay, and that is how it works. We'll discuss it later in the later stages. And after that, you have a list. So we're going to see how all of them work. So now, this part is what we have to do now. Okay, so get ready. And okay, so now let us look at the second part. The first thing we needed is a heading and a side heading, which can be copy pasted from the above content as follows, because I'm not changing anything. If you want to change something like the second part, and you just save it up there, and it's going to change over there, but I'm letting it be the same thing. So in subheading, you can give any other text, and in S3, the same thing as over here. And after that, I need to construct my table. So for constructing my table, the structure would be, you first need to, I'm going to show you the structure, okay? The structure is going to be, you need to create a table first, okay? And after that, TR actually denotes your row. And inside that, you have TDs, which are going to say content. Even this is going to have some content. So that is how it goes, you can see. But when you simply give a table, there is no border around it. But when I highlight the text, you can see this belongs to the same text and everything is getting highlighted and there is no gap between them. But when I underline this content, you can see that there's a minute gap. That means there is some padding which is not actually visible to you. To make that visible, you're going to say border. You need a border for the table, and that border should be 1 pixel wide and it should be solid. And now you see what happens if it is dotted. It becomes dotted. And after that, you can give the color in which the border should appear. So this would be the basic structure of a table. I'm saving it back again. So in here, what I've done is the first row is printed, and after that, I want to make three columns to be the same column without lines. So for that we have two things called as row span and column span, which you can do inside a table data. So inside the table data, I go and I say there is this row which needs the row to be spanned. How many rows are you spanning? 4 rows. So I mentioned 4. The same I do with the column span. So here it is this part, and for that I need this. Wait, I'm going to show it in a clear way. So here for, okay, so we needed this part. Okay, so for this part I'm taking this column, and this row, and this row. So totally I can say that I have 2 columns, and after the columns I have 1, 2, 3 rows. So I'm merging 2 col span and 3 row span. And now done with the table, we're going up and jumping on to how lists are done. And here, coming to the list, there are 2 kinds of lists. One is the ordered list and the other one is an unordered list. Ordered list is something, but it is ordered. Ordered in the sense you can number it, you can alphabet it, and there are different kinds of types which you can do it with. And once you're done with that, as you can see, once the number is done, you have something called as an unordered list. In the unordered list, you don't have anything called as a number, and everything appears to be a bullet or a circle or a disk or something like that. So how do we actually make it a nested list? So that is my last part of the tutorial in here. So this is my footer. That is the last part of the body element. That is also inside the body element. So this is the paragraph text which says this is a check editor, blah, blah, blah. And after that, the first thing is a bullet point, which means it is not ordered and it is named to be unordered list. The tag for unordered list is UN, okay? Unordered. Okay, and after that, in another list, I need many list elements. So those list elements can be specified by li. So this is one list element. You can see first item of the nested list, first item of the nested list, enclosed into li will be given number one, and followed by that, whatever is there will be given 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. And the second thing, the second list item has two more list items inside it, which are unordered. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the li tag, and before I end the li tag, I am going to create an ul which contains the list items, and after that I'm going to end the thing. But before I end, I make sure that this is complete. But inside this, the second list item also has another list item, which is a ul. So I make a ul inside this again. So here there's a UL again. So you can see, sorry, ordered list. We need an ordered list. A and B are ordered. So here actually by default it displays 1 and 2. What if we need numbers other than that? So for that I'm going to use OL space type A, which is an attribute. You can use many other things over here, like 1A, small I, like Romans, and small a's. So when I say small a and save, you can see it is changed to A and B. But for now, I'm going to make that capital A, and that is going to be the order. And once this is done, this is the li of the first element only. Now the li of the first element is closed. Once I close, I'm going to open an li for the other element, and I'm going to say second element and the third element. So this is my final web page, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.